Hi guys, CohhCarnage here with yet another build video. This is my third version of my Trickster build. So far, by far, this version is the strongest build that I have made to date. I'm having a much easier time golding T15s. I'm also, I have brought back Hunt the Prey into the build, which I really enjoy because I feel the warping around makes it all a lot more kind of iconic and a lot better. It also helps speeds up the expeditions by being able to kind of get the stragglers, warp over to them, and have all sorts of fun. So anyway, without further delay, let's go ahead and really quickly talk about the build. I'll try to make this as fast as we can. This build revolves around three main skills: Twisted Rounds, Vendor's Knife, and Hunt the Prey. The basic gameplay loop of the build is you always try to have Twisted Rounds on you. You throw your knife first, and then you warp in behind with Hunt the Prey, and you blast. We'll do a quick look at our class here. We are an Assassin's base build. We pretty much have all the stuff that gives us the most damage that we can. We did skip the armor piercing since hopefully our Twisted Rounds will be up, which bypasses most of that. We did go ahead and take Outriders Executioners since we brought Hunt the Prey back into the build. We went up here to grab the cooldown of the movement skill, but we didn't go all the way over to Transfusion since Weapon Leech is not hugely important in this build, and hopefully you have it on your shotgun. I don't yet. I'm still looking for a good shotgun with Weapon Leech, but it's not too needed, as 5% isn't quite worth that point where you can get something like, you know, an additional 15% damage or one of these periphery skills. Going into our mods, we'll quickly go over each mod so you guys can see what I'm working with here. This is our main gun, and if everything works properly, it's the only gun you'll need. You can have a secondary gun with some fun backup mods, like an assault rifle for some range, maybe with some powerful single hit mods. There's one particular for the assault rifle that makes like an AoE grenade explosion. Pretty cool if, you know, you're doing a guard the spire kind of mini event in one of the expeditions and you want to take out some stragglers and things. But really, for me, I pretty much just stick with this one shotgun. Now, Killing Spree is the new mod I have on this. I did used to have a mod that would give me guaranteed crit after every kill, but it only lasted for 4 seconds. And I found by subbing in Killing Spree, there's a lot more, not only a lot more forgiveness, because if you don't have mobs immediately, you can still go out and kind of run around and find some, but also this is raw damage that it stacks up to 75%, and you can still crit on top of that, which is really nice as well. Perpetual Mobile is the reason that you will hopefully not have to reload too many times in your expedition. What you want to be doing the entire round is, due to another mod on our armor, you're going to be aiming down the sights mostly. Keep an eye on your ammo, and anytime you see it start to get low, start looking for a target that you can shoot and kill, so Perpetual Mobile can then reload your magazine, so you can then keep that Twisted Rounds buff on you. Moving into our actual mods, we have Strong Twist to give us a little additional firepower. We've got Mitigation from Death. This is the reason I'm now aiming down the sights most of the time. 45,000 armor for every 10 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. This really helps the survivability of our normally squishy build. We have 2 more important survivability mods that I'll show you here in a second. Moving on, we've got Additional Mag. You don't need Additional Mag. In fact, if you do it properly, you can sub this mod in for something else, because if you really get good at managing your ammo, you don't need that second round, that second magazine too often. But again, it's nice for a little bit of a fallback, especially if, you know, you only have one big mob you're working on or something like that. Or again, you know, things go really fast in this game. Sometimes you just don't have the snap to get that little mob killed before your ammo exhausts, so having that second mag can be pretty useful. Perseverance Shield, another great survivability mod. This can really help get that extra kill at close range to shoot back your health, as that's one of the Trickster traits. It is a very nice mod, and with the 5-second recharge, it gives you a lot of versatility if you find yourself trapped in a corner or something and you don't have a phase dodge to get you out of there. Moving on, we have Bloodlust, more firepower. As you're probably noticing the trend, this build is all about firepower. 17,505 additional firepower for every 3 kills. Stacks up to 3 times with a 10-second. Phantom Dash here is actually one that I'm going to remove. Phantom Dash will eventually be replaced with the T3 mod off of a set helmet that makes it so every time we warp, we reload our ammo. That would be so good in this build, because once we replace Phantom Dash with that skill, we can actually go back here and most likely drop Perpetuum Mobile, put something really strong in here, like the mod from this, for instance, Shadow Comet, and then we would not only be having a Killing Spree 75% extra damage on our gun, but then we'd also be doing 210,000 every 3 seconds in an AoE. It would be incredibly powerful. That would be very cool. But again, until we get the mod that gives us the reload on Warp with Hunt the Prey, Perpetuum Mobile is what's keeping that up. As I've not used the mod yet, I am hoping that the that the jump with that is actually a refill and not a reload. If it's a reload, then it may not be quite as good, and we may have to stick with perpetual mobile, as that would actually burn the magazines, which would be unfortunate. Kind of like the if your magazine's under 50%, roll to reload thing. I'm not sure yet. I haven't seen it. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Moving on, we have Behemoth Gloves. I recently got the Captain Hunter mod, which adds 25% damage to elites. A very strong mod. Does a lot of extra damage to the big guys. It's pretty fantastic. And yeah, a very cool in there. Personal space, again, 50% more close range damage. Loving that as well. Going down to here, we've got radiation jump. This is huge in this build, especially versus the large enemies. You throw Venator's Knife to get the hit for twice the damage. You warp behind them to give them vulnerable, and then you blast them. That is an excellent combination. Now, one other important thing to mention, by the way, I'm currently using an automatic shotgun. I think I will attempt to sub in a pump shotgun to make that first shot even stronger. So right now we are using an automatic shotgun in this build, but a pump shotgun may actually work significantly better with the synergy of having that one giant hit from behind when you kind of stack the Venator's Knife with the vulnerability and the Hunt the Prey. You're also getting 50% on both of those because of our class tree. So a huge amount of extra damage. You stack that with Killing Spree, it's kind of nuts. So that is something I'm actually looking for right now, is a pump shotgun. That may be a little bit better. Also on the bottom here, we have Emergency Stance, which is another excellent survivability trait. Between our boots and our chest, right when we hit 30%, we get an 8,800 point shield and 65% resistance buff from that. It's a very good, strong combination, and it makes it for those times where you just take a little bit too much damage, or when you're building up your mitigation from death stacks, it makes it so you can kind of have that little bit of extra survivability to get just a few more kills and go from there. So pretty cool. One last thing to mention, there is a perfect role for Trickster in this build, and that is what you're looking at right here on this armor. Bonus firepower, cooldown reduction, and close range damage. If you ever see any armor with those three substats, hang on to it, because at that point, if you get some mods that you want in it, that is considered probably some of the best rolls you can have for this build. So anytime you get any sets of armor, just glance through them, and if you see bonus firepower, cooldown reduction, and close range damage, if it's blue, at that point you want to try bumping it up to purple. See if one of those three mods that you get to pick from is something useful. If it already comes with a useful mod, or it's purple and has two useful mods, fantastic. Or purple with one useful mod, and you can sub out the other one. But yeah, keep your eyes open for those three magic stats. Your goal is to have all 5 pieces of your armor with that. On that note, this build is very strong. It uses a combination of many different things. I did used to use Borrowed Time, but I ended up really kind of enjoying Hunt the Prey a lot more. Hunt the Prey does mess up a little bit, but thanks to our survivability, in the times that it does, we can still kind of survive and keep the build going. Here's a little bit of the build in action. Jumping behind them to give vulnerability is a great way to keep that going. Do a knife, do a warp, and they just melt. Keeping an eye on our ammo, making sure we're blasting little guys whenever we get too low. Shooting stragglers, just warp on over. Whenever there's a bunch of little guys, just lay into them. As long as you're getting those kills, you don't need to worry about your magazines. And that is the build. Hope you enjoy it. It's a pretty fun build. My name is CohhCarnage. Hope you enjoyed this video. Find me at twitch.tv/CohhCarnage. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the channel and ask. This build will continue evolving. We may do more videos, but anyway, see you in Outriders. Thanks for watching.